You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
So, a word of warning to all the Movie Guys fans listening right now. A little warning. I enjoyed the movie for once. We're going to talk about Suicide Squad. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
I am doing great. This is actually The Suicide Squad, not to be confused with 2016's Suicide Squad. The certainly makes the difference in both movies. That's all you need is just a little the.
Yeah, just a little if you will.
Theatrical, yes.
Oof. Yeah, no, I was hyped for a long time with this one. Of course, everybody knows who listens to our episodes. I'm the big, got to figure out everything that's going on. I am the hype train of Movie Guys, and I've been following this thing all the way through. When I heard that James Gunn was going to come over to DC and direct it, I knew it was going to be good. I've seen a handful of his work. One of my favorite is Slither, and he made Guardians of the Galaxy great. Nobody would have thought that a talking raccoon in a tree would have been as successful as it was, but here we are. I knew this was in good hands. I was excited to watch this movie. I knew it was going to be good. Did you have the same hype as I did?
Oh, yeah. When I heard that they were redoing it and I heard who was in it, I was on board. I was definitely on board. And I was, however, curious and you know what I mean? I didn't want to give my expectations up too much because I felt like I was still so fooled from the last one because it had the same hype like it wanted to be a Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Right.
It was a very odd kind of a ensemble of characters that were all just kind of ridiculous of each other, and it was supposed to be kind of again compared to that, and it had like the classic rock and everything. It really was hard to watch just because how bad it was. Everything was predictable. It played like just a simple story, and the way that the characters in Suicide Squad, not this one, the Suicide Squad, it felt like everyone was there working. It didn't feel like it was a movie and everyone was in a character, and you felt like each person in 2016 version was just there for work. Like they're just part of the job, and it just didn't feel good. This movie did. This movie felt like every character had something with each other and something to overcome. And I think it was great the way they advertised this too. I was thinking that we were going to get from what their advertisements like the Pete Davidson, the Michael Rooker, the Weasel, the Boomerang guy. That I thought we were going to see a movie with them. And the best part that I actually had rewatched a few times with and Nathan Fillion, where they all die in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of this movie.
Yes. That was one of the things. Well, see, that's actually no. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I agree and disagree. I kind of miss some of the characters that have been killed off in this opening 10 minutes. But just for the sake of tiptoeing over ourselves here, Eric, and possibly for the fans, let's do a little bit of Apocalypse Now and just call this new one Suicide Squad Redux, or just Redux in general.
Okay.
To help kind of tiptoe over, because I can tell as the show goes on, I'm going to tiptoe all over.
Either that we could do years 2021 and 2016. It doesn't matter.
Redux sounds awesome.
Redux.
But what I was blown away with this Redux is we get introduced to Michael Rooker, Pete Davidson, Weasel, all of these over-the-top, outlandish characters. Right off the bat, I knew I was in a different movie, in a different world, because the characters in the original were all very generic. They didn't have anything special about them. They not really were crazy. I mean, hell, Killer Croc didn't even look anything special.
And he was such a token character. Like it hurt.
Oh, yeah.
It hurt to listen to Croc speak and have him be the obvious token black guy in this, and just like to play to a stereotype. It was hard to watch. It really
very
was.
hard to watch. And also, Enchantress was very hard to watch. And also, the last thing I will say, before we get into the actual Redux, is I thought the villain was too end of the worldly. Now I know maybe that sounds weird for what we get in this movie, but it seems like this movie in the Redux they can eventually contain this thing. With the original, it is gods and warlocks and just over the top. Like this is where you assemble like the Avengers team to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Justice League. Justice League, I would say. I'm sorry, Justice League.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The bad guy at the end, Starro is its name. I would have never expected in a million years to see Starro on the silver screen. It caught me by surprise. I laughed. I thought it was great. I really did. It was just a good surprise. Starro is more is more of a Justice League Superman kind of villain. It's just from a different planet. It can do a lot of stuff. Obviously, as we saw in this movie, he can like terraform planets and stuff too. It's
Hey,
a lot of cool stuff.
I am laughing because again, this is a great joke, Eric. James Gunn can get away with this. He's the only director right now that could get away with this. Who do you want to be the main villain, Mr. Gunn, of the Redux? A giant starfish. No, Mr. Gunn, put down the weed. Tell us. No, seriously, Starro. Who's Starro? And even the heads probably didn't even know who Starro was. Great idea. He's the only director that could do this. But let's get into the beginning of it. We get into Michael Rooker right off the bat. He's pretending to be this badass guy. He has this little bouncy ball thing with dots all over his little outside cell. He murders a bird for no reason. So he is showing us as the audience that I'm a badass. We get introduced to Weasel, who I will say is my favorite character in the whole goddamn movie.
Played by Sean Gunn, yeah.
Love Weasel.
James Gunn's brother.
Weasel is amazing. I was sad when he drowned in the beginning. It was amazing.
Well, did nobody do their research? See if the Weasel could swim? Come on.
It was amazing. What I think I loved about Weasel was when he falls or when he gets pushed out of the airplane. And he has that ridiculous weaselly humanoid scream, and then he's drowning, and he has that weaselly scream.
He's such a weird character, man, to have in this movie, and that's just again with what was happening here. It's setting the tone of just we're gonna have some laughs here. We're gonna be goofy here, okay? But we're gonna be like actiony goofy, and it even gets more and more with every introduction of every character. It just gets into the more and more absurd. My favorite is, of course, Nathan Fillion as TDK.
Which one's TDK?
Yeah, TDK detached his arms. He's the detachable kid. He detached his arms, which floated over to the militant group with machine guns, and he slapped them in the face. Just kind of like slapping him in the face with his detachable arms.
Which is absolutely just a terrible superpower. And that's one of the things that I loved about Group 1 is they're all pretty much terrible superpowers. But for people who don't know, we're not going to go this scene by scene like always, but what happens in the beginning of the movie is we get Amanda Waller. Am I right on that? Waller?
Yep. Yeah, that's Viola Davis from the first Suicide Squad.
She reprises her role. We get this office setting, kind of like Cabin in the Woods kind of setting where you have a bunch of people watching monitors, taking
control
bets.
Room. Yeah.
Yes, who's living or who's dying. They get this team of badass people, Team A, where it's Michael Rooker. I don't know what his villain's name is, but he's this this long white hair. You have Weasel. You have the guy with the detachable arms. You also have the javelin guy.
Yes.
Pete Davidson, which I don't know what his thing was.
It doesn't matter. He's the first to fucking die, and that was great too.
Oh yeah, Pete Davidson. So then Amanda Waller sends this team. We think this is our team to a remote island because a bunch of militant rebels took over, killed the family, and now they're borderline turned into the small Cuban-like kind of island into a communist setting. So they need to go there, destroy the people in charge. So, in a movie kind of thing. So the first team arrives. Weasel dies because nobody knows if he could swim. Rick Flag comes back, and the same actor reprises his role. And immediately, as soon as they get into the island, this is what we've been giggling about this whole beginning, fans. is there's like hundreds of militant people and just blows them all away.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my God, I thought these were badass guys. Pete Davidson gets his face blown off.
Yeah, perfect.
That was amazing. The guy with detachable arms, what? They just shoot the shit out of his arms and he starts dying.
They just fucking shoot him. Yeah, like all of it was great, and even Michael Rooker's character, I guess, chickens out and tries to flee, and in doing so gets blown up as per the agreement of joining Suicide Squad.
I love the fact that we get introduced to this Michael Rooker's character as this badass guy who just murders birds, and then once he sees people starting to be destroyed, this badass supervillain becomes a whiny little girl and tries to get on a makeshift raft and float away. I was laughing.
Yeah,
I was absolutely laughing.
I thought it was great. That set the tone. And then I liked how they then switched into the real introduction of the Suicide Squad, where we get to meet Idris Elba, John Cena, and who else was there? The rat lady,
Ratcatcher 2.
Ratcatcher 2, the polka dot guy.
Polka Dot Man, and then my second favorite character, of course, is King Shark.
Yes, King Shark, Nawe or whatever his name was, having a great spotlight in this movie.
That's what Killer Croc should have been.
He is the Groot of this movie.
Yes, why couldn't they have made Killer Croc in the original like that? Like that's your Killer Croc.
King Shark is different. King Shark's different than Killer Croc.
I know that. I'm sorry, I misspoke. How about this? The design. Make him a CG character like that. Don't create Killer Croc in the original to be this token black guy and have him do all those shenanigan words and not do anything and have a terrible makeup job. Like, why not have Killer Croc look like something like this? But that was their choice.
This is what happens when somebody who knows what a comic book is can make a movie. You know, I felt like that Suicide Squad was just a bunch of corporate guys just pushing out what they could as fast as they could. You know,
absolutely. Now there are two survivors from the first team that gets blown away. I'm sorry, I'm going to backtrack one more time, Eric. My favorite kill in the first 10 minutes was this She-Hulk woman, like the space alien woman. And she's like, I'm going to take down the helicopter, like all heroic.
Yeah, Mongol.
Yeah, starts riding on the helicopter. It crash lands, and the camera pans and lingers on her for a long time for crawling out of the wreckage, engulfed in flames, screaming and bloody murder. And I'm laughing the entire way, like, absolutely, this is great.
Yeah, this was actually a gory movie.
Very gory. This brings me back to Days of Slither, because I don't know if you know this or not, but James Gunn got his start in Troma Pictures.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very aware. Tromeo and Juliet. I am a big fan of Troma Pictures. Let's just say that. Toxic Avenger is a fantastic series. And Poultrygeist. If you have not seen that masterpiece, I recommend you do.
I have seen majority of Troma films. Class of Nukem High comes to mind.
Sure.
I will say this for the record, because we probably will never talk about Troma films. I do not personally like the films. There's something about it that makes me feel gross. But I respect what they're doing. But I really respect what they're doing. So they're doing something different. They're not great films. They know what they are. They're not trying to sell anything else, but this is who we are, and I respect them for that. And there's a time and place for them, and they have done something right if they've been around for this long. So then we get the real team B, like we said, Idris Elba, Ratcatcher 2, King Shark, John Cena, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, Idris Elba's character is playing Deadshot, right? I guess Will Smith didn't want to do the movie because this is clearly Deadshot.
No, this is Bloodsport.
I know it's Bloodsport, but...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and obviously so, yes. And then they got a white version of him, too, in John Cena.
Right. John Cena's amazing in this. John Cena needs to always play this. Now, John Cena in wrestling, that's its own thing. But I've seen his movies, like The Marine and whatnot. Mm-hmm. He's not good. And I think James Gunn casted him in this role because, hey, people don't really like your so just be a douchebag because that's who you are.
Well, he's found success in comedy roles.
That's what I'm saying. He plays
did
comedy douchebag roles.
yeah, he does that. He can also do action as well too. But like I remember Trainwreck is a good example. He kind of same thing with like a LeBron. You know, they just kind of showed up there and were able to show that they're funny, and he continued to be so. He was Daddy's Home, isn't that
Yeah,
another one?
Dad. Oh, he was in it, and Daddy's Home too.
Too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's fine. He's no Rock, but I'm just getting at John Cena, like Tom Brady, oozes douchebaggery.
Oh, it's like, come on, he's a nice guy, man.
Who? Cena or Brady?
John Cena.
He may be. I'm a swell guy, but people think I'm a douchebag. So
I'm
going to
stand up for him, man. We need more positive role models in the celebrity world, and I think he is one. He's a bro. He's
all right.
A thumbs up, bro.
All right, maybe I'm just hating.
He's the older brother, you know.
He's older brother that looks better, gets better girls, smells better. He's just better overall.
But he's gonna have you tag along.
Yeah.
He's like, hey man, come on, you know, get shotgun. Let's go riding around and shit. He's that type of guy.
Maybe I need to reevaluate, but that's my opinion of John Cena.
That's how I see him. So. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't matter at this point. I just thought, what a perfect role for him. Another thing about the Redux here that is so much better than the first one, besides Harley Quinn in the original, she's really good in this one. But everybody was casted perfectly to their strengths. I cannot imagine anybody else playing Polka Dot Man.
Oh, sure.
That actor was great. Whoever he is, I've seen him before.
Oh, yeah, and I can't imagine anyone else playing Harley Quinn.
Right. I mean, she was mediocre in Suicide Squad. She was abysmal in Birds of Prey. And again, look how good she is in this movie. She has a good director. Love Harley Quinn, who she was a part of B Team. Well, she was part of A Team with Rick Flag. Everybody gets killed. Rick Flag gets captured. And Harley Quinn is, well, I believe she got captured too. So now Team B is trying to figure out what's going on, why they got on the island, blah, blah, blah. And what's the big thing is that they're going to try to find Rick Flag, who is lost in the jungle somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And then we get introduced more to our characters. We find out that John Cena would eat a whole island of dicks for freedom.
Yep.
Funny line. Also, we get King Shark trying to eat Ratcatcher because, you know, he's half man, half shark, bud.
He's a shark, yeah.
Right. And Polka Dot Man is regurgitating polka dots. We find out later, but
expelling is that what he's saying or something like that?
He is expelling his dots, but what does it come out of? What orifices does it come out of? We don't know.
You don't need to see that.
No, but let's go ahead and talk about these new superhero, anti-hero people. We find out as the film goes on who they are, but let's talk about it now. We know that Ratcatcher 2 is called that because the original Ratcatcher was her father, and I guess he died of drugs, and he could control rats with this beam.
Played by Takedo Takeya Wadi.
Sure. You're talking about the chick?
No, Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher? I don't know who that guy is then.
Really?
No, I don't know who.
He's the director of Jojo Rabbit. He's going to be directing Thor Love and Thunder.
So
he did Hunt for Wilder People, you know.
So the chick who's Ratcatcher 2.
Holy shit, he's doing Time Bandits and Flash Gordon? This guy busy, dude.
Her father, the actual real person who's playing her father, is the director of those movies, huh?
Yeah, and he also stars in them too. What We Do in the Shadows. Like he's got a resume.
Well, fans, if you want to hear our review of Jojo Rabbit, make sure to go to Movie Guys Podcast, our website, Movie Guys Podcast Podbean. You can listen to that in the archives, and also our review of the original Suicide Squad. We reviewed a lot of movies.
Also,
just search.
I got the Polka Dot Man up here too. David Dash. Ooh, I'm gonna have a hard time with that last name. Dasmalchian.
Right.
I butchered that, I'm sure. And I apologize to him. I'm sure he's a fan of the show, so I apologize, David. When we have you on, you can tell us how to say it. But he's been in a lot of stuff too. He's going to be in Dune.
Ooh.
He was in Jay and Silent Bob, the new one. He was in what's his other? He was in another James Gunn movie. So apparently James Gunn likes to reuse actors.
Okay. Well, okay, let's talk about Polka Dot Man. So Polka Dot Man, we find out
Belko
is
experiment.
his mom's a scientist or works in a medical lab or whatever, and she wants to turn her kids into superheroes, so she injects her children with an alien virus. Some of the children live, some of the children died. He has a superpower, which is shooting polka dots that when they hit you are acid. What exactly do the polka dots do to you?
They're just like they're just yeah. You can say acid. They just basically will just eat through you and then like just napalm. You know,
Okay.
you interdimensional napalm just flying right at you.
And then we get Peacemaker, who is Captain America on steroids. The only difference between him and Captain America is that he will kill, he says, every man, woman, and child as long as it means for freedom.
As long as it brings peace.
You know what he reminds me of? Early 2000 Bush America.
Okay, yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
he's
just that
played
America douchebagish.
to such a wild level though that it's comical, right? Like we're laughing at this the way that he's the way that he's so dedicated to making peace that he'll kill whoever he needs to kill in order to get it.
Every man, woman, and child just to have peace.
Just to spoil something for you here as well, I believe it's been announced that there will be in 2022 a TV series of Peacemaker.
Produced by James Gunn.
It'll be on HBO Max.
Yep, HBO Max is following the Disney protocol. Now, what is Idris Elba's name again?
Bloodsport.
And what is his thing? Is he Deadshot? Like he can't miss?
Yeah, he's
super soldier.
He's just a future tech engineer. He's just crazy marksman and just an overall badass guy. You know, so
okay,
he's just able to do that. A lot of other heroes on both sides, on DC and Marvel, just seem to be just some white guy with a gun or a black guy with a gun, basically just kicking ass. Whether it be like Punisher or Cable from Marvel, you know what I mean? Or these guys. It just seems to be like a thing because guns are cool, and when you have a gun that you could make bigger and have like attachments to it, that's even cooler, right? Or have it like split. Like you saw that his armor, that his gear that he was wearing, also kind of like would he could break it off. It was all one unit.
Right. I have definitely seen that. Yes.
Yeah. So that's kind of just the same thing.
Right. All right. So now the team finally finds the flag. Wow. Here we go again. The team finally finds the camp where Rick Flag is being held captive, and we get a great sneaking shot of King Shark devouring a guy whole. I rewound that at least 5 times. I just love how the camera was placed in front of the actor, and in the background's a giant half-man shark sneaking up behind him. It was amazing.
Oh, this entire bit is fantastic. I think.
Oh yeah.
This counting this Legolas and Gimli kind of body count that they're doing and who can one up each other. It's really cool. The part when Peacemaker was walking through the tent and the guy that was sleeping in the hammock and he just was just shanking him as he's passed. I thought that was great. Like this was
with an axe.
Yeah,
with an axe.
With a fantastic bit, man. It was just great.
Great, brutal, violent. That poor guy sleeping who got axed from his leg all the way up to his face was just didn't even know what hit him. And it's just a brutal, brutal scene. Polka Dot Man comes in and destroys a hideout thing, and then boom, they get ready to go into the main hut, and Rick Flag is there drinking tea because they accidentally killed the rebels.
Yeah, that's
hilarious.
That's a great scene. They're like, no, we didn't see anybody. No, we didn't. We just walked through. That's great. Yeah, I thought that was a great bit as well too. I like the comedy in this movie. It's dark, and it's just kind of silly because again, like that, he's looking like what's in SpongeBob SquarePants? What's Mermaid Man's sidekick.
Barnacle Boy.
Barnacle Boy. He looks like Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, he does.
The entire time. It's hilarious.
It's absolutely hilarious, and I'm just completely satisfied at this point. But then we get a Harley Quinn story where she has been asked. She gets all dolled up because the military has kidnapped her, and now she has to meet the new pronounced president, a young, strapping, handsome young man who is going to make this country great. And they have a love affair. They have a sex scene, kind of. You don't see anything, but a lot of throwing and a lot of thrusting.
Yeah, this was out of nowhere, huh? This kind of just seemed. I guess it just seemed like we were at a point where the president, Luna, is that his name? Who just felt like maybe he had just taken over. He's just untouchable, top of the world, and maybe he was just overstepping his kind of reach there. His boundary.
Maybe.
And just thought about that. But Harley Quinn is a fantastic character in this movie. I think that Margot Robbie, has really found the tempo for the character. To what jokes, what setups and what deliveries you need to do on beat. It really seems to make more sense in this movie than it did in any other movies that we've seen her in.
I hope she actually did find the character because I really feel that everybody's good here because it's in the hands of James Gunn. If this was another director for hire who doesn't have a vision, I don't think these people would be as good as they are, or if any good, because we've seen Margot Robbie. Okay, how about this? Besides I, Tonya, has Margot Robbie really been a great actress? Or is she just eye candy of the month?
Well, I would say that it does help that she's very attractive, but I would not say that she's not she's a good actress. I enjoyed her in Bombshell. I enjoyed her in Wolf of Wall Street.
Everybody enjoyed her in Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, of course. I liked Titania. What else have I seen around? Hold on, let me pull her up.
Well, besides
I've not
Harley
seen
Quinn
any
stuff.
Peter Rabbit, so I don't know if that's.
She's just a voice.
Oh, okay.
Peter Rabbit's just animated, yeah. I mean, Tanya, I like, and I'm not bashing on her. I'm just saying, I think pretty much with anybody, if you're in the hands of a great director, you're going to do great things. And I feel like if you're in the hands of a mediocre or a lackluster director, you're going to get mediocre and lackluster performances. So I think this was the best Harley Quinn we've gotten. And I love the fact, too, that he's looking out the window, the president, he's just like, I'm going to have this vision. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. And then as soon as he turns around with his shirt off, she just shoots him right in the chest out of nowhere, off camera. Yeah. Love it. And her reasoning was something about how she has dealt with men who try to have power or whatever her whole life. And and this is a red flag for her. So she's just going to end it.
Yeah, but he's just said the wrong thing. And she's like, no, you're a bad guy. And shoots him right in the chest.
Right in the chest. He's crawling on the floor, laying in his old blood. Just crawling and dying, and she's talking to him like normal, like you and I are talking. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then they take her hostage, which of course, why not just shoot her right there? But no, they take her hostage, string her up so they can ask her some questions. And this is another great scene where the escape, where she gets to escape from this, as the Suicide Squad says. And finds their newfound kind of brotherhood, and says, like, okay, we're going to go save Harley, and then we're going to go to the thing and destroy it.
Right. We're going to save Harley. They had a bonding moment where they infiltrated a club because we got this doctor guy who we haven't talked about, who has syringes, is what I call it, and light bulbs all throughout his bald head. And he has been in this country for 30 years studying this thing, which is Starro, which is a real comic book villain from DC. And it's a giant starfish in the center of it is a giant eye. That's what it is. And what it does is that it reproduces itself to have smaller starfishes to attach itself to your face, a la facehugger, and then mind control you. It already kills you when it attaches itself to your face, but you get up, you walk around, you talk through it. You do its bidding until it has nothing to do with you. That's literally what it is. I'm not making it up. It's ridiculous.
It takes you over, and it looks freaky as well too. And uh, you know what? I do like the closure that basically is just like, no, once you get that thing on your face, you're dead.
Right. And there's no coming
That's
back.
confirmed. It's like there's no coming back. They've tried 30 years of research, obviously. Nope. There is. What did he say? They're as good as corpses. They're or something like that.
So I have a question though: is that how do they die? Because the thing is from your nose up, so you can still talk. So does it drill a hole in the front of your skull there to control your brain?
Yeah, maybe it's like just becomes so attached that it's like, you know, uh, just a live or die situation where it's ride or die.
Okay, I'm just curious.
An actual
because,
ride or die.
Because the facehugger and
analogy.
alien makes sense. It has to go into your mouth, but there we go. So we have this doctor guy that they had to kidnap to let him into the facility to kill whatever is in there. And they have to save Harley Quinn. Love the escape, by the way, while she's getting tased and nothing's working. The general's getting pissed off. So then when he leaves, she just gymnastics style breaks this guy's neck. Love it. Goes out, guns a blazing. She has a bunch of flowers shooting out behind her while she's doing it, screaming. It was fun. There's no reason for it, but it was fun.
It was just extra. It was just a kind of a fun scene just to add some extra to it. Like maybe instead of blood, they added all the flowers.
There you go.
Which was just kind of something different. I really like the reoccurring bit in this movie of the javelin.
Yes. Because the beginning of the movie, Javelin dies, and he, in a very, very funny, heroic death, if you will, but it was funny to me. Javelin's dying, and he gives her the javelin. He's trying to say something heroic, but he can't get it out. He dies. So she has this javelin. She doesn't know what she's supposed to do with it because Javelin told her something, and she can't figure it out. But she rejoins the team, and the team goes to this gigantic silo right now, a chimney. I don't know what the hell the damn thing is.
A secret facility. I forgot what its name was. It was something.
They go downstairs in the basement, and they see all these people that have been operated on the past 30 years, and they see a couple of tentacles, maybe. Don't know what Starro looks like yet, really, at this point.
They tease it, which is pretty good.
Right. They do tease a smaller version, but it's pretty good. And then we find out the truth, that the reason why the Suicide Squad was sent there was because to cover up that the United States government had a hand in the experiments of Starro. Rick Flag doesn't like that, so he steals a hard drive, and Peacemaker says not only will he kill men, women, and children, but he'll kill a member of his own team who is not a villain to make sure that it is that the truth does not come out.
Peace can be kept.
Right. This is fun. And then the facility, and then we go back to the other team in there. Explosions, shenanigans, King Shark getting in trouble. Love all of that. And I was not expecting this, but Peacemaker and Rick Flag have a fight. Peacemaker kills Rick Flag.
Yeah, shocking twist, huh?
Right. Now, I thought of you, because I'm like, oh, we don't actually see a body. No body, no death. But what James Gunn did that was clever was when Peacemaker stabbed Rick Flag in the heart, it went into his body so you could actually see where it stabbed him, which was right in the heart. I was like, okay, that is conclusive that Rick Flag is dead.
Which I think this is great too. I was reading some theories online to people saying that this was Waller's attempt to get back at Rick Flag here for disrespecting her and disobeying orders in the first movie with the Enchantress. That's why he was set to go in Alpha Group, because it was an ambush and he was slated to die, but he survived, and so this happened instead. But
Harley Quinn was in that group too, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's just, kind of another Waller plan there, who's remains still a villain more than anything.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely a villain. Loved her in this. She's very slimy. Loved her in it. I will never complain about her. She's fun.
She's always great.
And I think the actress does a great job. Uh, but all hell breaks loose, and then, well, I mean, actually, before we get into the reveal of Starro, Peacemaker and Idris Elba has a standoff, old gunslinger style, and they always made a joke at the beginning of the movie that Peacemaker may have big bullets, but Idris Elba's bullets can go through it or stop it or whatever. And Idris Elba shoots, shoots and kills. I mean, I don't know.
He
if
has a
like,
smaller bullet that was able to shoot through Peacemaker's hollow point. Yeah, Peacemaker had made the comment earlier that he's a better shot than Bloodsport because he can shoot his target or shoot shoot on his, and mine's smaller, so it'll go through yours. So it's a callback to what he said earlier in the movie.
So Peacemaker bites it, and then boom, we get Starro, giant starfish, Godzilla style, destroying, running the muck of the city, releasing reproductions of himself, just mini starfish flying everywhere, controlling the military. All hell breaks loose, and the Suicide Squad breaks protocol. Amanda Waller gets hit in the head with a golf iron, and we get the Suicide Squad versus Starro. And I love, it happens a few times in the movie, but I love how Bloodsport says to Polka Dot Man, imagine your mother. And it's a giant Karen taking down buildings. It was absolutely amazing.
That whole thing throughout the movie, too, where we got to see Polka Dot Man's perspective of how everyone is his mother is, well, that is something different in a movie, isn't it?
It is. It's very different. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. I kept thinking of Karen. Just loved it. And then Polka Dot Man bites it. He gets crushed.
Yeah.
By Starro.
Nobody's safe in this movie.
Nobody's safe. And that's the funny thing, too. I'm not trying to get serious on it, but after Starro, got it, I was like, not Starro, but after Polka Dot Man got it, I was like, oh. And then I have a realization, wait a minute, Jordan. These are all supposed to be bad people. These are the people that Batman and Superman fight against. These are the people that you should root for. The director of this movie is doing a great job.
Yeah, this is it's great. Again, the silliness of these characters has it so that when and if maybe there are more Suicide Squads down the road, you could just cycle in. You know what I mean? All these different actors. You maybe have some reoccurring ones that come through, but how much fun would it have been to maybe be a lot of these guys on just like to show up for like a week and do this?
Right. Yeah. This would be a great limited series if you was something, like something that'll be fun. But Harley Quinn finally figures out the javelin. She needs to run off the top of a roof and pierce Starro's eye to get inside of his eye, so all of Ratcatcher's rats can go inside the eye that's full of liquid and eat it from the inside out, pretty much.
Yeah, quite a weird climax here. I can't say I saw it coming. Like, I knew the defeat was going to be there, but as to how, well, boy, that was definitely a new one to see a swarm of rats go into an alien's eye and eat it from the inside out.
Yes, we said that statement right there.
That
is
fun. Just what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? Everything is great, but then Waller made a deal that Waller's going to let the Redux Suicide Squad go and not blow up their heads, as long as they do not release the hard drive information to the public.
Yeah, and at this point, it would only be 3 of them, right? It would only be Bloodsport, Ratcatcher 2, and King Shark.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But then after that, though, we get a mid-credit scene. My favorite character, Weasel, comes to on the beach, and then he runs off with his arms flailing. He is so ridiculous. I absolutely love Weasel.
He's just
the noises he makes.
He's still alive, and I'm sure we're gonna see more of him.
Oh my god, absolutely loved it. And did you see the ending credits scene where John Cena is alive and well in the hospital? He
Yep.
is recovering.
Yep, that was again pretty fun to see that he's still back in here, which would obviously help confirm the TV spinoff that we're going to be getting in next year.
Well, you know what, Eric? I guess right off the bat, let's get into our popcorn rating. For me, I mean, it's no doubt. I mean, this is a large bag. I mean, I really hope when we do our nominees for the Movie Guys Awards this year that this goes into, I'm serious that this goes in for Film of the Year. This is everything that it was supposed to be. Not to be taken seriously, lighthearted, dark humor, just complete and crazy nonsense. I mean, I find it very, very funny that there's this thing going in Hollywood now, in Hollywood right now, where you have directors that have clout make artsy films that are just so ridiculous they shouldn't be. Joker be one of them. Like a Hollywood studio made that film and it made $1 billion. That is a Scorsese ripoff, independent, 1970s kind of film. And then James Gunn did this, where the big bad at the end is a giant starfish. Amazing. I was amazed by the stuff that he could get away with. I love pretty much everybody from B Team. Love them all. I think Harley Quinn is great. I cannot praise this movie enough. And just get the technical aspect, I always rate on that. The movie was shot great. It told a cohesive story, A, B, and C. I couldn't find any really major plot holes that made me go, ugh. It was a well-crafted, fun, stupid movie. And I think it did exactly what Fast 9 is trying to do that fails at miserably. So, great film, large bag. Eric, what say you? What is your popcorn rating for Suicide Squad?
I definitely give this a large bag. This is what it needs to be. This is where the DCEU needs to kind of go in this direction. The films that are involved in this universe are so different from each other, but you can clearly see the ones that are working are the ones that are playful like this. The ones that are, you know what I mean, that like knows what content they're trying to make, rather than it trying to be something else like a Batman v Superman, where it's supposed to be like this melodrama of, and it's just no, it doesn't have to be like this. You guys are wearing costumes. It can't be serious all the time. And Shazam worked, Suicide Squad worked because they were fun. They knew how to play within their sandbox, I guess, if that's a good way of doing it. Same with Wonder Woman too. I really not 84 though, not 84. And I really hope that they continue to do what they did here. We'll see with Black Adam. That's coming up soon. For the record, Jordan, the Joker is not in this universe. This is, if you want to call it the Snyderverse, we can do that. It seems like they're really trying to veer away from it a bit more now. There are so far Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman, and Shazam. Those two are sequels that are slated for the future of this universe, and they said possibly that the Joker is going to be in a separate universe with the new Batman with Robert Pattinson and Paul Dano. It's confusing, but they're trying to do two separate universes. There's also going to be a bunch of TV shows. They're going to add Constantine finally into the Justice League mix as well too. So, did I say a lot right there?
No, you're fine. I mean, that's the whole point of the popcorn rating, right, bud? Give time to give your piece.
Getting back into the movie because I just went out on DC kind of rant there a little bit. Again, large bag. This was just a playful movie. James Gunn was the right call for this. It wasn't too much like Guardians of the Galaxy. It seemed like an R-rated version of Guardians of the Galaxy. It seems
absolutely.
It seems like with Marvel is going to be like this now family friendly for all ages type of series, and DC it seems like they're setting up a good way of making this an R-rated comedy. That's what you need to do. That's what I think Black Adam should be, because that's who that character is. He's very arrogant, and he can be just kind of funny and full of himself. So I'd like to see how they do that. I hope for more of it, especially with the Peacemaker TV show that's coming out too. If they can turn the dial to this flavor of movie, I think they're gonna find more to come in the future because of how successful they are.
I will 100% agree with you. I would chalk this up as my Nintendo theory. And we'll end it on that, buddy. So what you just said something made a lot of sense to me. Kind of hit home in a way. I never liked Nintendo. I have never owned a Nintendo. Nintendo in this is Marvel. And it's family friendly. There's not a lot. Well, back in the day, they've changed, but there wasn't a lot of big kid or grown up or adult games on Nintendo. It was always Pokemon or Mario. It was family friendly, which Marvel, like you said, is getting into. But DC is PlayStation. DC is Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I, since I've never owned a Nintendo, since I never owned a Nintendo ever, I've owned PlayStation and Xboxes. So my metaphor is, if they keep on following this path, they're going to have me hook, line, and sinker, because I want to be entertained, and boy, was I entertained.
You know, that Harley cartoon series is kind of the same thing too, where it's like this adult, silly humor. And again, I hope that's another piece of data pie that they can take on their plate and look at and see, like, okay, again, this R-rated stuff is actually working. They'll pull from the Adult Swim audience.
Yes, that's what they need to do. That's what they need to get at. Marvel's too big. You will never beat Marvel. You have failed at that. Move on and find yourself a new audience. So that's what I was getting at with the metaphor. I'm sure you agree with me on that one. I hope.
Yeah.
But I just find a new audience. And right now, Eric and I, being in our 30s, we're the perfect audience for you. So great movie. Thank you for giving us that one. Just don't cock it up. So thank you, everybody, for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. We appreciate it, like always. If you want to check us out online, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. You can find many episodes that we've done over the past 6 years on that site, and you'll be able to search anything you want in the search bar. You got the archives there. Also, check us out on social media. And wherever you get your podcast from, we are on there. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, just to name a few. Wherever you listen to your podcast, we are on there. So, Eric, thank you so much for joining me, like always, and we'll be back next week for another awesome episode. Have a good night.